All righty, and we are live. Cajun Coin Hunter here, aka Boudreaux. How y'all are today? All right, I see we got a few people in here already. Hector was in here early. Hector's interest in coins. Randy Toraboli was in the house. He said he'll be on here for a little bit. Yeah, we'll get Randy up here after a while once we get it rolling good. Gleason, how you doing, Mon ami? Up there in Tennessee, Gleason, Tennessee. All right, that's all we got so far. Uh, and I did put the notice out early. All right, now we got in the basement, we got the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Smoky Ribs Barbecue.
How's it going?
Going good over here. Going good over here.
I've
Raining,
got I've got
raining.
to I've got to change that. I just seen that where it says Smoky Riz Barbecue After Dark. I was on a live last night, and the guy that was controlling that went in there and changed my name to that. I
Oh,
didn't look
okay.
at it. I didn't look at it when I signed on. I've got to change that.
Nah, you good. Because at 5 o'clock it'll be almost getting dark.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
five
right.
thirty, 5:30 actually.
I don't think there's no way for me to do it on my end right now,
Yeah,
but
yeah, you can.
I can go to
Yeah,
settings.
yeah. No, not settings. You
No.
see your little picture at the bottom of the main screen?
Yeah.
Okay, you see the three dots in the upper right hand corner?
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Click
I
that.
got. Yeah.
Kane Sample, what's going on, mon ami? How you doing?
There we go. That's better.
So I've got okay, everybody. This is Russ Jones from Smoky Ribs and Barbecue. I've got his link. In fact, it's his channel link, but it's a link to his video on his channel. One of his latest videos that he made with a picnic uh, roast off the front quarter of a hall, and him and his son was in there, and they did that right. Let me tell you something. They did it right. There's my honey, Miss Missy, right there. And y'all need to check that video out. The link's in the bottom in the description box. It show more and pop. It'll be there.
Appreciate it.
And I mean, look, that I've got a set of. Yeah, see, y'all did the chop version. Y'all did the chop version. Uh, I like chop as well as pull.
I'm gonna silence my phone because I'm in this little circle of friends that text in amongst each other, and they're going nuts right now with it. So
Oh, okay.
I just silenced that.
Got your little click.
Yeah, I got added to that group, and now when one person texts and the next one texts
Oh
back,
yeah.
I get them all. You know.
Yeah. Well, when like I used to be in Google Hangouts like that, but when I was out, I wasn't talking or whatever, I'd just say leave chat, and I wouldn't
Yeah.
get all them notices.
Yeah, I could do that. I left it once, and then I don't never get anymore. So one of them got me back in there, so I put up with it. Silence my phone, one or the other. Because sometimes I get in there and text too. You know.
Okay, I got Missy looking for something.
Okay.
Uh, I've got a set of pulling forks, pork pullers.
Two
Yeah,
pullers.
a set of two forks.
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking
The
about the
pullers.
Orton one. You know the other one we have?
Oh, you mean yeah, like to shred
Yeah, pulled
meat
pork.
with? Okay.
Yeah, pulled pork.
We're gonna need one like that for.
Yeah.
We're gonna need to use it for the turkey.
No, not for the turkey.
See, you got
Okay.
turkey right there.
Oh, okay.
The meat rakes. I call them pulling forks.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a set of them bear claw things made out of plastic. Then I got some that Dalstrong sent me that look like weapons. Man, you hold them in your hand with like brass knuckles,
Uh-huh.
and they got these
Well,
ports on each side. You know.
these ain't plastic, I'll tell you that.
Oh no, no, those look good.
Yeah. Nice quality stainless.
Oh yeah, I like those. I like that better because they got that curve on the
Yeah.
on the
Cave
prongs.
Cave Tools. Got it
Okay.
on there too. And
Yeah.
it's got a nice handle, you know, real nice handle. And perfect, man. Look how wide them things are.
Oh yeah. Heck
You know,
yeah.
compared to a regular fork that's only probably not even 3 wide on these.
Let me grab some. I'm gonna show you something real quick.
All right.
We're gonna use it for turkey.
Yeah, we can use it for the turkey too. Yeah, we're doing a turkey for Christmas, so I'm gonna leave that open because I'm gonna show them after a while again. When get a few more people in here. What is
This
this?
is something I'll.
Oh,
This is something I use.
Oh, you get a little piece of paper in with it.
Oh, okay.
You know, instruction manuals or whatever. You know, customer service. You know, if you're not happy and all that. So
Yeah.
y'all go check out Cave Tools. I mean, I am no way sponsored by them at all. I am not. The only person I would consider me sponsors me is Miss Ida Herring. And she does embroidery, quilts. She did my hats. She does a lot of YouTubers' hats. And that mossy, that tree, real tree pattern.
Real tree. Yeah.
And with that hunter orange thread on there. That's all embroidered.
I like that. I like that mix up with the hunter orange.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is something I got. It's kind of like a paint stir, but this is actually ordered. I think I got it off of Amazon, but you hook it up to a drill motor.
Yeah.
And you take and put your pulled pork, you pull the bone out of it, and you drop it into a food safe bucket, you know, that's made for food. And you put that cordless drill in there, and man, it'll turn that stuff and pull it in a hurry.
Well, I bet that'll take the weekend. That'll take the weekend out of the project.
Yeah, got all them fingers on it. It just shreds it up in just, mere seconds. If you got a lot of it going on, that's pretty handy. That's about the only time I use it.
All right, let's see. Well, I wasn't paying attention to chat. I was busy with them forks there. All right, we got Daryl in the house, 2 ATVs in our life. There's Mr. Daryl over in Virginia. Not West Virginia, by God, Virginia. Randy Toraboli. Let's see, Grass Cutter Palmer, all the way from the UK, England. Tim, how you doing, buddy? And then let's see, Barry Ewald. We got Mr. Barry in the house. Naturally got Miss Missy Mahoney. Bill Beckett's in the house. What's up, Mona Me? All of these are regulars. And let's see, who else we had? I thought I seen somebody else. I guess I didn't. No. I'll be back in a minute.
Well, he got it stuck on me, don't he? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Am I the new host? I don't know where he ran off to.
Okay, me and Missy were talking. She was asking me a question.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I had you presented that whole
yeah,
time.
Somebody won't know if I was the new host.
Yeah, smoke your ribs. Hey, Andrew, how you doing, buddy? Twisted V Twin. What's up, Monsieur Mark and Miss Sandy? How y'all? Well, I need a fan on me. It's getting a little warm in here. I got that long sleeve shirt on. I should have got me a short sleeve shirt. I put one of them undershirts on. They kind of look like a regular shirt.
It's been warm for December down here.
Well, it was like that last year. It got cold real early,
Yeah.
and it. Hey, Missy, come see. Turn it toward me a little bit. Yeah, bring me that.
that fork knife thing.
Bring me
What's
that.
for? That was my gift when you came here. Or what?
Yeah, this is mine though.
Oh, I'm looking.
I got $100 worth of knives a long time ago, and when I could afford it back then. And she opens string bean cans, corn cans, and all that with them knives, man. Dexter Russell knives at that. Okay, man.
Yeah, they make good knives.
Oh yeah, I've used Dexter Russell since I was young, because
Yeah.
commercial fishing,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
all your seafood markets, a
Yeah.
lot restaurants. That's all Dexter Russells.
Yeah.
That's the
They're
cheapest knife they're gonna have. Now, I mean, they're not gonna
yeah.
put that on a plate, on the table out there
No,
for
no,
you.
no.
Unless it's a little hole in the wall place,
Yeah.
that gets real good business all the time. Blue Water Seafood, they would have the small Dexter Russells for
Right.
cutting the crabs. Ball crabs, when you slice that top half off, fold it over, and then you grab all your lump meat and all out of there.
Yeah.
They would do that with the black handle Dexter Russells.
Okay. Yeah, I've had a few Dexter Russells. I used to fillet fish with one I had, but I got a knife roll now. Everything I need that's made by Victorinox, and yeah, and they're made just like the Dexter. Got the plastic handles on them, and
Yeah.
they just feel good, and they're very easy to sharp and keep sharp.
Oh yeah, because the Dexter Russell's knives, it's the steel they use. It's not stainless. I hate a stainless blade. It's
Yeah.
carbon. It's a stainless free carbon is what it is.
Right.
It will stain, but it cleans off pretty easy. Now
Yeah.
they calling this a 7-inch knife. It sure looks longer than that, but that's the blade.
Yeah. Yeah, I want some carbon in my blades because that's how, like I said, it makes it sharpen up so easy. That's what I like about these Victorinox. They got some really good metal to where it holds an edge, but it's also easy to maintain that edge.
Right. Especially if you got a steel.
Yeah, mine come with a good steel made by them. Man, yeah. That's all I do. I'll hit that thing a couple of times before I use it, and then I've only had to resharpen them, I think, one time, actually sharpen them in about a year's worth of use. But I hit them with that steel just in between every use, and that keeps that edge going.
Oh yeah, I've got the belts and all that for where they at? They was here somewhere. I've got them somewhere. They're probably underneath all kind of stuff on this other table that I got. I'm cleaning off my workbench, electronics bench.
You going
anyway? I've got the 3 belts. Deer Meat for Dinner. You familiar with that channel?
Oh yeah. Rob Harrington, very big channel.
Rob Harrington.
Yeah.
He's got a video out on that knife sharpening, and I've been having these things for a couple of years now. These belts.
Oh
and
yeah.
Harbor Freight didn't have. They was out of stock. And they had one when I called. She says, "We got one." I says, "I'm on my way." I didn't think anybody would buy it. When I got there, it was gone. Somebody just bought it.
Dang.
And I asked them, "Can y'all sell me the display model?" "Oh, no, sir, we can't." And they says, "Give us your number. We'll call you when we get one in next week." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that works for me. Good customer service like that.
Sure.
So, wait, Missy's got something to show me. Okay. Anyway, they said they'd call me. They did. When I didn't get a call in a week and a half, I called them back. No, sir. We didn't get a shipment at all last week, last Thursday or Friday, whenever they got them. Go ahead and leave them here. Oh, okay. So I called them the week after, like they told me to do, and they got a shipment, but didn't get no grinders.
Dang.
Man, and that's that little 30-inch, 1-inch grinder, one
Yeah.
inch per 30 inches. And man, you can take a butter knife and get it just as sharp as that fillet knife, brand new out the pack.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember Rob showing that years ago on a video, that belt sharpener he uses.
Mm-hmm. And that's what he's got. He's got 2 or 3 of those Harbor Freight models.
Okay. Yeah, he used to sponsor or be sponsored by that. What is it, Silver Stag or
Stag knives, yeah.
yeah.
Silver
Yeah.
Stags, yeah. Stag
Yeah.
knives. He has his own. He came up with a few ideas for designs.
Okay.
And that's where he got in good with the company right there. And in
I-
fact, him and his wife, they went to the company and she made her own knife.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
He's
remember
got
that. Yeah, I've been
he-
following him for a long time, at least
Oh,
8
yeah.
years, I know.
hmm I want to say about, 6 to 8 years for me too.
I don't watch every video. It depends. I look at the title of it, and if I have time, I'll watch it. But most of them I do watch. I watched them ones where he was right down here in Louisiana, over there. I think they were around Venice or somewhere right in there doing a lot of blue crabbing and fishing. That was just last month. He was releasing those videos.
Oh, really? Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, he
He
was
probably
hanging
made
out
made
with that
those during
other.
the summer.
He was hanging out with that YouTube channel called Outside the Levees.
Oh, I know him. Yeah, they down by Homa.
Okay.
Not Homa. Yeah, they go to Homa a lot, but they his home outside the levees. He's from Lafitte.
Okay. Yeah, well, he was hooked up with Rob Arrington, and Rob came down there and shot all them videos, and those are really good videos. I mean, that's more, it's not. I mean, he's down there in Florida, and I know all about that stuff too. But that other stuff he did down there was closer to what we do here. You know what I'm saying? So I just really enjoyed those videos.
Right, right. Yeah, and he's not that far from you. I mean, he's not that many miles as the crow flies.
No, not at all. That's why I tell people, I get comments sometime from people that say they're from Louisiana, and, some of them are derogatory. A lot of them are really good, but some of them, like, we don't do that here in Louisiana, or, man, I'm within 30 minutes of the state line. Don't tell me that mess. I learned this from people that live over there. I don't even want to hear it. They probably live somewhere else anyway. They're just starting some crap on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Who knows?
What's up, Scott Keller? Said we had a dusting of snow. You know what they call? You remember? For us, about 2 or 3 years ago, we had about 3 snows that one winter.
Oh, trying to
Or
remember.
did it bypass y'all?
It might have bypassed us. I remember one year, man, it snowed like crazy in New Orleans, and when it left New Orleans, it came over the Gulf, because New Orleans was south of us, or southwest of us.
Right.
And if you look at the map and see how it wraps around, it's just offshore, and it was snowing like crazy just south of us, and we never got any of it. Like, dang, I was hoping.
Remember that one snowstorm, that blizzard? It wasn't a blizzard, but the winds were howling about 60 mile an hour out of the northwest. That took a overhead. There was an overpass, and there was a train on that overpass. It took it and knocked it off the tracks.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of power.
That was about 3 years ago, something like that, 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay. I've seen
Good.
snow down here where it really accumulated. I'm talking about like got a foot deep in your yard or whatever. I've only seen that happen here twice. Now I've seen it snow here many more times than that, but like he said, a dusting. It just a little bit, it just covered the grass, and then next thing you know, it's gone. It's melted.
We had 4 inches that in that time period I just mentioned.
Yeah.
3 or 4. And Missy had built a snowman on top of that garbage dumpster we got. It's those big ones with that big lid. And the truck comes and it's a hydraulic arm that comes out and grabs it and does that to it.
Yeah,
she built a snowman on top of that. On top of the lid. But and I had a video and people were commenting in the video. I said, man, we got like 4 inches of snow. And they were like, yeah, that's a dusting for us. You know, the people up north.
Yeah. I can remember one time back in the early 70s.
Oh, I was going to tell you that. That's in 1973, the winter of 73.
Ooh, boy.
Oh, man, we had almost 2 foot of it in our yard. And that's Abbeville, Louisiana. You know, that's way south of Lafayette. Not way south, 20 miles south of Lafayette, but we lived on the south side.
Yeah.
You know, which
I'll never forget that, because my dad had his own business. He built a chain link fence and privacy fence. And one of his trucks, they didn't have truck liners back then, but he had a sheet of aluminum, like 1/4-inch aluminum across the bed. And that thing didn't drain water off very good. So anyway, it was storming, just hard rain. I'm looking out the window down that truck, and I could see it was holding like, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches of water at all times in that truck. Then I went back out there, or looked out the window a couple hours later. It started getting cold, and every bit of that water froze over, you know.
Yeah.
And that's when that winter storm was moving in. And all of a sudden that turned into snow, and it snowed and it snowed and it snowed. It was all in the windows, and this place is not geared for the snow. And it just shut the whole city down, you know.
Us neither.
And I'll never forget, that was fun time. That was a lot of snow, you know.
Back in now I remember in 89, it got down to 5 degrees in Jennings. I was hauling sugarcane at the time.
Man.
I had my truck. I was using the farmer's trailers, and I'd pull with my truck. And I was using their diesel. My diesel was paid for. I just fill it up at the farm out of their tanks.
Okay.
And it snowed. It snowed. And we got to where it got so cold, the commercial trucks that were down there that would get their diesel at the pump, regular pumps, they were stranded on the side of the road. Their diesel was gelling up. But the diesel I was using had a fuel treatment in it to keep it from gelling. That's, good thing I was using the farmer's diesel.
Yeah.
And we got our Stroke Jude in the house. How you doing, mon ami, mi amigo?
Boo, how you doing, mon ami? How you doing?
Good. What are you eating on?
Sorry, I got to apologize. I am going.
No. We talking about cooking, and
Well, I'm going to see a show tonight, so I'm not going to be home later. And I had to eat an early supper. My wife and son went to work, so my wife had made some chicken noodle soup, so I just warmed some up.
Oh, homemade. Oh, yeah.
It's raining out here. It's raining out here in California. It's about 45 degrees or so.
Yeah.
So warm chicken noodle soup before I leave tonight. That's going to be my dinner.
All right. Give me a sec, Randy Tarboli. Give me a minute there. Let's see who else popped up. John Francis, another Louisiana man in the house right there. He's from up the road from me a little ways. Not too far. We could have a call. In about 45 minutes, we meet halfway. We can be drinking coffee with each other. Maybe not even that. So, but did y'all get any snow in 89, Russ?
Oh, 89. I don't remember none in 89. The 2 times that really stand out in my life was the early 60s and then that 1973. Now, in the early 80s, we had a couple. It didn't snow, but I'm talking about like 0 degrees in Pascagoula, Mississippi, actual temperature.
And 08 or 09, Baton Rouge caught it, a bunch of snow in that area.
How
Yeah.
My daughter sent me pictures of their yard, and it was covered with snow everywhere. No empty spots. So that's how much snow they had.
But it's such an oddity to get snow down here. So when it
I
does,
know. Yeah,
we remember the dates. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
I remember that. That was about 90 years ago. You know?
Yeah. Well, I remember '73. I was right 10 years old at the time. What you were
Yeah.
saying, Jude?
I was born in '73.
Oh, okay. Dang. What you been up to there, Jude?
Not much, man. Just working. We're real busy at work. I haven't been doing very much on my socials at all. I did a live stream this week for the first time in a long time, but
Yeah, I was up in the pound.
I haven't done much. I've got people telling me. I mean, I'm still getting comments and likes and subs and all that, and people just commenting, "Man, you got to do more work. You got to put more time in." But man, this time of the year, as busy as I am at work, man, I'm going in at, it's not real early, but like 7:30 in the morning. I'm getting home 6:30. I got a 12-year-old who, he wants to go to the gym and play basketball for a little bit, and I got to eat supper, and it's just time's running thin. When spring rolls around, I'll have more time again because he'll be on his team, and I'll be able to drop him off, and he can play basketball unless I coach him again. But we'll see.
What kind of good Mexican recipe you gonna share with us right now?
Mexican recipes, like
Yeah.
authentic or like quick fix.
Authentic, yeah. What you was brought up with, or some quick fix, whatever.
Yeah.
We talking about food today.
My
So-
favorite quick fix, because I'm not very handy in the kitchen myself. I can get by with stuff that I've got, but my favorite quick fix, I don't know if you guys are familiar with chicharron, or it's called pork rinds.
Oh yeah, uh-huh.
No, I like to get the flat sheets of the dried out chicharron. It's almost like a potato
Yeah, it's a
chip.
pellet. Yeah,
Yeah.
we call them pellets down here. My stores, my go-to store for those is out of them because I've got to mail some out to some people. That's uncooked. Unfried.
Right. So what I'll do is I'll get that, and I'll break it down into like really small pieces, and I'll make a homemade hot or spicy tomato sauce, and it's just the tomato sauce and the chicharron, and you just mix it in until the meat or the rind gets nice and soft, and the texture gets so like you can chew it like meat, because it is a meat, but I mean it's been fried and hardened.
It's the skin.
Yeah. Then you get some homemade refried beans, just a dab. Wrap that in a tortilla, and that makes, in my opinion, the best burritos in the world, man. I love that. I can eat that all day, every day.
Somebody's car alarm is acting up.
Yeah,
Y'all hear that?
Yeah, that's how I can do it.
Oh, it's in your neighborhood. Okay. Well, Randy Torboli, how you doing, little buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, Cajun. I actually got something that I've been wanting for a while this week.
Okay. People that's wearing headphones, warning.
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay, what you got done? What you said this week?
Well, my papa had given me a stuffed animal when I was about 5 years old, so that would have been about 1995. And he just died 2 years ago. And believe it or not, just 2 weeks ago, I found that same exact stuffed animal, brand new condition, on eBay. So I bought it.
Oh, wow. Okay, what happened to yours?
I still have it, but it's so worn out. I'll put them side by side here. Let me turn the camera around. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, okay. We're gonna look at the bears. Pull a Bear Edge Garage. Randy style. Thank you, Tim. Oh wow.
See what I mean,
yeah.
Cajun? See how-
Oh yeah.
The one that's got the darker look to it is the older one. The one on the left is the new one that I just got.
I would put the new one, the brand new. I'll put that back in its plastic bag that it came
Yep.
in. That way it can't get. Maybe that other one's that color. I don't know.
Yeah, the other one was that color before.
Oh, okay. So that's not all kind of dirt stains from playing out in the mud with it, huh?
No, that's the old one actually. That is the old one, the one that's all stained up. But it's just so old,
Yeah.
it's all yellowed now.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I put that brand new one back in the bag.
Yeah, I figured what the heck, my pap's no longer here, so he would have wanted me to have it anyway. You know what I mean?
Right. Gotcha. All right, Gleason, what you up to, mon ami?
Not much. How's everybody doing this afternoon?
Doing
I'm
good.
doing well, man. I want to compliment you on a great taste in hats, man.
Yes, you know,
wait a minute.
you
Let
cannot
me,
believe
I-
how many people I've had a
I
compliment
didn't
on
notice
my hat.
Yeah. Man, sure. Are you kidding, man? The only thing good about him getting robbed 2 years ago is that I get to vote for him 3 times.
I tell you, of course, we probably may not can talk politics today, but there is a lot of stuff sure coming out on one of
Oh
the
yeah, it sure is. Caney Creek
platforms
wood carving. How you doing,
out
Caney?
there.
John Kaiser, how you doing? Oh, where'd you get that hat?
Oh, my nephew, he works for this company that he travels all like 4 or 5 surrounding states from here, and he goes and buys and sells at these auctions,
Okay.
and he sells them.
That one looks like that's better quality
Yeah,
than the ones that were out 4 or 5, 6 years ago, because I could tell just by looking at it that's a better quality hat.
let's see.
It's got
You
the
think-
Velcro on the back, or
Yeah, it's
little
a
bucket.
Velcro.
Yeah,
Velcro. Yeah,
Yeah, that's good
But
quality hat.
it's still made in China part. That's what kills me on stuff like this.
Everything's made
I
in
mean,
China. It seems
But it
like
is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dang nice hat.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
it's
I
always-
give $5
got-
is all I give for that.
We call them scrambled eggs, but that's a signature actually. But it reminds me of the old scrambled eggs on the bills of the hats years ago.
Mhm.
Years ago. You remember that, Russ? The scrambled
Yeah.
eggs?
yeah, I do remember that.
I had a captain's hat that my company bought for me. I was deckhanding actually. I was engineer on the boats. I started out deckhanding and I turned engineer, then captain. And that was all within 8-month period, and I was only 17 years old. I started with the company at 16. I lied about my age, and they never checked up on that. And I was 17 years old running crew boats out in the Gulf of Mexico. And my company gave me a hat that said captain on it, and it had the scrambled eggs.
Mm-hmm.
It looked kind of official almost, kind of like a general's uniform or whatever.
Yeah, an admiral with the Navy or whatever.
Something like that, yeah. Lawnmower Detective, how you doing, Dave? What's been going on with you and the missus?
Okay, while I'm on here, there's 2 new faces that probably don't know what the red fan thing is. Do you think would it be okay if I explain to them what that is?
Go ahead.
All right. What I actually had, I'm into HVAC. Okay. So I found this fan. It doesn't have a motor on it. It's not basically a decoration. But when my air conditioning or my heater's running, this fan will actually spin from the airflow coming out. So I film it.
It
And I
helps distribute the air.
Yeah,
air
and I call it the Red
circulation
Fan
around.
movie. That's what I called it.
So, Russ, that reminds me, since Lawnmower Detective's in here, you're probably not familiar with the channel. You probably are. Terrell Fixes All. He owns a lawnmower, small engine repair business shop up in Indiana. And they have these skits before and after the repair videos, and they funnier than hell. And
Oh yeah, Terrell. He's a funny guy.
Terrell Datko. And you reminded me of him today with your Bubba teeth on your video, your pork video.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
reminded me of Terrell because they almost look like Terrells, but they wasn't Terrell's is real pronounced. He's
Yeah.
got the Bubba teeth that are real pronounced. Yours wasn't quite that way, but you
No.
reminded me of that. In
Yeah,
fact,
but Cajun, I found out something. That's really not his look. That's all faked. Could I see a picture of what he really looks like?
I know. I know his teeth are fake and the wig and all that.
I wasn't sure if you knew that.
Mean, if anybody,
Because I didn't at first either. I thought it was all real.
If anybody believes that stuff is real, they need to go get themselves checked.
Cajun, I hadn't told you in the last few days. I hadn't done it yet, but I've got the itch for. I've been looking at 4-seated UTVs, you know, because I've got a 2-seater, you know, and but I have found this one 4-seater that I'm this close to ordering it. I hadn't done it yet.
Oh, side by side.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. We call them side by side. Or a mule, like a Kawasaki mule.
The one I'm particularly looking at, it's got the little half hard doors on the bottom, and you know, the advantages of it from versus what I got, it'll have power steering, and it'll be a water cooled engine, and it's 4-wheel drive. Mine's not 4-wheel drive.
Right.
And I after I seen this one, and man, they have got a heck of a price on it right now. It's a steal from the ones I've been looking at and comparing them. It's under $8,000.
It's brand new.
Yeah, and it'll come out of Georgia. The company that sells it, and the brand name it's called a Roketa, Roketa, and I had never heard of it. Of course, it says it's a Yamaha based engine. It's a 600 cc, I believe, engine.
Okay.
But you know, I mean, mine is fine. It still looks like it did the day it was new. I don't go out in the mud or nothing. I drive mine on the street, just go riding around, you know.
Right.
And,
I dropped a link in the chat, everybody. If y'all can see it there. That is the video for Smoky Ribs Barbecue. That's not his latest video, but the one before. That's his chopped pork.
The Carolina style pork. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me make sure. That might not be it.
I just looked up your channel, man. You got a big channel, like 240,000 subscribers almost.
Thought he had more than that.
It's actually coming up on 259,000. Should be getting close.
That's right. 259. I thought I saw 239.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of good looking stuff up here.
Yeah, I've been on YouTube a long time. It took 10 years to get that many subs, but it's there.
What state are you in, Smokey?
I'm on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, right here in Biloxi.
Oh, okay. Well, you just kind of down a state or so away from me. I'm in northwest Tennessee.
Okay.
That's like me. I've only been on YouTube 3 years. In the last year, I've gained like 500 subscribers. I was only at 100 for like a good 2 years, and then boom, it took off. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, you started hanging around with us in the small engine and the tool community.
Yeah, that definitely helped it.
AG Surfer's in the house.
AG, what's up, mon ami? Silver Surfer. But anyway, in that pork picnic roast, Smokey, right toward the end of it, he's wearing his Bubba teeth. and that, I tell you what, that sandwich they had, that burger, it was on burger buns, big burger buns. That sandwich they had made out of that pork roast, it was chopped pork instead of pulled.
Yeah.
And it would have took them teeth to really open wide, because that burger was about that thick.
Yeah.
That, you know, and probably next time, I know he's got a video on pulled pork. But
Oh, I got a
there's
bunch of them. Yeah.
set of forks here that you can for pulled pork, and that's for pulled pork, beef, whatever. You just get in there and start forking it up.
Yeah, that video was based on Carolina style with the vinegar sauce they use, and also they're kind of known for chopping their pork instead
Right.
of pulling it. And I'm sure they do it both ways, but they're kind of a lot of your like Sam Jones, famous guy out there in the Carolinas that does barbecue. I know all theirs is chopped, you know.
I actually prefer to chop pork to pulled pork.
It's easier to eat instead of pulling out a strand out of your bun.
Yeah, and you got it that long.
It bites so much better. It's kind of like going. It's kind of like going to Whataburger. One thing I like about Whataburger is they don't put onion slices on the burger. They chop their
it.
onions up.
I like it like that.
You're not pulling them out of the bun. I just like it so much better. You know.
I love Whataburger. That's my favorite burger besides Missy's homemade,
Man,
or my homemade. And Whataburger actually puts mustard on the bottom bun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I like mustard on the bottom. Go ahead,
I
Drew.
do
I'm sorry.
All right, Jason, I'm going to get going because I got to get something to eat here. I just figured I'd jump on for a few minutes.
All right.
Take it
Later.
easy,
Randy.
guys.
Randy.
All right,
Take it
Randy.
easy.
Free top. Poor Jude can't get a word in with a hammer and a wedge. Huh?
I'm about to start an internet debate on your live stream right now because I've never had Whataburger. I've been to Texas once, but I've never had Whataburger. But I've had many discussions on live streams about, and it usually goes about 50-50. But man, to me, you can't beat an In-N-Out burger. In-N-Out.
Oh, I've had an In-N-Out when I was in Arizona. See, we don't have them over here.
No, we don't.
No, y'all's I think the In-N-Out. I think they start around the Texas, Nevada line in that area somewhere there.
All recent, up until about 10, 15 years ago, maybe 20. They were all in California, Southern California.
Yeah.
Then they opened up one in Sacramento and I think one in Las Vegas. And since they've expanded a little bit more, but
Yeah,
I
had one in
anytime between 10 in the morning and 1 in the morning. That's a good 15-hour span. That's their open hours, and you're gonna see a 30-minute drive-through wait, man. 20 cars in the drive-through, and they are always, doesn't matter what time
busy. They busy. It's not just lunch rush. At 11 to 1 or whatever. Exactly. They got a line in the drive-ups for it's like 4 cars before you get to the speaker.
I just watched a video on that about a week or two ago, and it was about In-N-Out. And one reason they were only located in that certain radius of California was because of all the ingredients they use or sourced, and to be able to keep using the meat and lettuce, tomato, whatever they use, it was
Everything
all sourced in
fresh,
kind of a local,
fresh.
very
right.
fresh. And that's one reason you don't see them coast to coast, but so they don't lose that quality. I hear really good things, but I'd love to try one. They don't have them here.
We were on the way to Lake Powell up in Page, Arizona, where the Grand Canyon starts. Me and some friends of mine I used to play golf with all the time, disc golf. And we found out on the way there, somebody called us and they said, "Hey, you and Boudreaux gonna play golf at that course?" And we brought our discs with us anyway. I had my bag full of them, different flight patterns and different weights. And he said, "Yeah, we got our disc," but he says, "I'll find out more about it when we get to Page." And sure enough, it was behind the police station and the fire department. And we went into the police station and asked, "How do we get there?" They says, "Most people usually park over here and then climb down in the canyon, in that part of the Grand Canyon." And then, and they says, "We have a little map of the baskets, and the numbers on them." Well, and they were hard to find too. Out there in that desert like that, man. But we had a blast. And on the way back from Page, we stopped in Phoenix at that In-N-Out burger. Everybody was getting hungry. And we stopped there and got a burger, and I'm like, wow, this is awesome. This reminds me of Whataburger.
Yeah.
Not quite a Whataburger, but
My wife is from Alice, Vivor.
I
let me see that.
I love this right here. I have in my kitchen. It makes the best burgers. And like if you want to do breakfast, now mine on one
Oh,
half.
that's
Oh,
electric.
griddle.
That's
Yeah,
electric. I like
grill.
it
And
too.
one half of mine has the little lines where they have carved them into that.
Right, like for
Metal
charbroiling.
plate.
rolling.
Yeah, and it is really nice. I really have enjoyed it.
I have
And it
been
was less
working
than
with
$100. Less than $100.
oh man, they got great prices. I've been working with those folks for I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months. They sent me an ice machine, that Vivor or Beaver, however you say it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a video installing that ice machine. And it's over at my son's house that shoots videos with me. He's actually the camera guy. But then I got, if you watch in my most recent where I did the pita pockets,
Yeah,
I'm using a dough sheeter in that, a dough sheeter. They sent me that, and tomorrow FedEx supposed to be dropping me off a commercial size stand mixer. I have a KitchenAid small one, but the last time I made boudin, I only did a 6-pound pork butt, and man, that bowl was slap full. It was almost running over. I said I need a bigger stand mixer. So they reached out to me, wanting to know if there's anything I needed. I'd like to do videos with. I said, yeah, give me that 10 quart. And they got them up to 20 quart, but I didn't want something so big I couldn't pick it up. So the one I'm getting tomorrow is about twice as big as that KitchenAid.
That'll be perfect.
But, but the price on that is so affordable.
yeah,
It's
for a commercial grade stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Compared
pretty
to
wow.
KitchenAid is actually quite expensive. I bought my mom a KitchenAid mixer for Christmas quite a few years back, and it was just I mean, it was a normal size. I don't know how many quarts it was. It probably
5 quarts is what most of them were.
That's probably what it was. And if I remember correctly, when I bought it years ago, it was like a couple $100, $300 at the time. It was pretty expensive.
Yeah, they're over 400 now. You know, if you don't get a deal on them or whatever. And the one I'm talking about is only 500. It's like $100 more, but it's twice the capacity. Size.
That makes it totally worth the price.
Oh yeah.
What I done is when I first, I'd never heard of that VEVOR, so, and it had its own website. So I started Googling and asking questions. Is this a legitimate website? Because the prices on those grills, I was like, I don't see how you can sell them. They can sell it for that. And it was like free shipping. And that thing weighed, I don't know what it weighed. It weighs over 30 pounds. It's super heavy. Yeah,
well,
very heavy.
They're made in China. I mean, I think you know that. Everybody what isn't made in China, but my only thing when I first started working with them is like most companies excel at certain products, but these people make everything under the sun.
They do.
Yeah. I mean, anything you think of, you go in there and, oh, there it is. And I'm like, but it's good stuff. I mean, I haven't had no problems with anything yet. I said, heck, I'll keep working with them then because I'm getting things that I've been wanting. And all I have to do is I do have to do like a little 5-minute dedicated video for that mixer. I can do that right here at the house. So I leave. I go with my iPhone and my Rode mic and just do a quick 5-minute walk around. That's all they want, Like, yeah.
Hey, Boo, one of these Sundays, man, when you have one of these cooking streams, let me know in advance. Maybe at the beginning of next year sometime. And I'll go to my mom's house and set up because my mom would love to talk with you guys. She's kind of retired now, but she went to culinary school. She was a caterer. She worked as a cook at the prison. She loves all this talking shop talk, equipment and all that. My mom would love to talk with you guys about that stuff.
All right. That'll work.
That'd be fun. Heck yeah. Yeah, that's my forte, man. That's what I do. So I can talk that all day with people,
I'm one of these. I'm usually stay quiet. I've learned a whole lot though by just sit down and listen to other people.
How they do. You learn more by listening instead of talking.
You got that right. You got that right.
And,
Uh,
and I remember when I was younger and my kids, were first into the world and I was the cook because my wife never did cook. I was always the cook. But when they were younger, I wasn't that good a cook. But as they're grown and gone, and I've had more time at it, and now they're ready to come over here and eat anytime.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that's
sometimes I'm on Power Stroke Jude's live streams up in the panel, and it never fails. And he'll have 60, 70 people watching, and it never fails. At least 8 people will say, "What's for supper, Cajun? What y'all cooking tonight?"
He's been modest.
I talk about cooking. Yeah, I can talk cooking all day with the best of them. I can, which I have already with Smokey.
We used to have these late night Saturday streams where my time I would start about 9 o'clock, 9:30 my time, which is probably 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning for some people.
Yeah,
And-
12 my time.
Or
Or 11.
But I'm talking about 2 hours, 3 hours in. It's late, and Missy would serve Boo a plate, and he get us all hungry at what are you eating, man? He show us his food, and we're just like, oh goodness, man, I don't know how you can eat supper so late. He's like, oh man, this is my second supper.
Midnight snack.
Yeah, midnight snack.
ever since I retired last November, not last month, but a year ago, my hours of operation, what I'm talking about while I'm up, is crazy. I'll sleep some mornings. I don't wake up to an alarm clock, so I might get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I might get up at 10 o'clock, but I might stay up to 1:30, 2:30. It's different, So
Right.
if I eat supper at 5 o'clock, 5:30, by the time midnight gets there, I'm starving again.
Me, I am too.
So I'll eat.
I get
I've
that.
gotten terrible with that.
That's right, Bill Beckett. We have 1 mouth and 2 ears for a reason. Yeah. Can you imagine if some people had 2 mouths like me? I'd eat twice as much and talk twice as much.
Well, my belly's twice as big, if that counts for anything. Is what it used to be.
Hmm.
Why don't you give Big Rob a text message and let him know we up?
I don't even have his phone number. I don't know Rob's email or.
Oh, you don't?
No,
I
ain't
didn't
got
know
it.
that. I'm gonna have to grab the cell phone. It must be in Missy's purse. She went to her mama's today, this morning about 11 o'clock, and Missy cooked for her mom and her sister,
He
and had
might
to bring her
be.
sister her carton of cigarettes she forgot in the Jeep Friday.
He might have actually something to do. Unlike me, I had to go meet Uncle Larry this morning. I told you about that, and then that was the only thing I had planned. I was going to shoot a video tomorrow, and the more I got thinking about it, I'm gonna wait till Tuesday.
Oh, do you have
Get lazy.
access to his website link right quick? Can you post it?
Who's that?
Uncle Larry.
Oh,
Can you, yes, go ahead and post,
well,
copy it and share it in here if you can.
Yeah, I'll have
Oh,
to.
give me a bottle of water.
Let's see.
Cool. Missy feels better.
Larry's Ready Set Gumbo.
Hey, Tom McGee, how you doing?
Well, I subscribed, and I also
work.
made my very first next 20 minutes I have available. I'm gonna watch. I put it in my watch later list, but I'm gonna watch the gumbo recipe. I can't wait to watch it.
That's a real quick gumbo version that him and Jenkins guy did. And now I'm a Coon-ass Cajun all the way. And Russ has ate many gumbos and cooked many gumbos. Even though he lives in Mississippi, he's not far from Louisiana.
No, not at all.
So if
There we
he
go.
says the gumbo is good, I believe it. And the way it looked to me on the screen, yeah, that's a true blue gumbo right there. And I like that thickness of the gumbo too. A lot of people make a gumbo way too thin, like a soup, like Campbell's chicken noodle or something. That's too thin. I like mine with a little bite where it sticks to the rice a little bit.
Let's see. Where is
What jambalaya? You have a recipe for jambalaya? That's my favorite,
Oh.
actually.
I'm
trying
pretty
to.
sure Russ has got one.
Oh yeah, I got a jambalaya.
Hey, make a
Two.
comment in the chat right quick, Russ.
I'm gonna try to post this, but I'm not a admin,
make-
so I doubt I'm.
Make a comment, and I'll give you that. I'll give you one of these right here. Blue Wrench. That way you can share them links.
All right, I'm just gonna put a comment. Let's see.
Yeah, just make a little short when I can catch it like that. There you go. Okay, now you're good to go.
All right, now let me All right, that's his website, but
There's Ed.
but the thing about it right now is kind of funny. That man he could not believe it when that video went out. Luckily, it's a video that's done pretty well in the short amount of time it's been up, and there's people ordering this gumbo, ready set gumbo, to where he's sold out. And they packed up over 200 boxes, and people are ordering 2 and 3 jars. I telling how many hundreds of jars that he sold because of that video, and he actually ran out. So if you go to the website, you can bookmark it, but he's actually left Biloxi here today from that event. He's going back, and tomorrow he's supposed to have everything back ready to sell by the 15th of this month. What's the date?
Today is the 10th. I mean the 11th.
11th. Okay, in 4 days, everything will be back up on sale. But he's like, I had no idea, man. He was talking to me today about it. He goes, I was getting scared because I didn't know if I could keep up. I'm like, yeah, YouTube, man. I'm telling you, if you do it in a certain way and get enough eyes on it,
on Fansville, presented by Dr.
it's gonna make sales.
Containment from the stadium. Straight for Fansville. This will not be late.
No, something is
You
coming.
got something on, dude.
But if you're not in the mood to make your own roux and build a gumbo from scratch, and that's the way I always do. And he hooked me up today, man. It's just like I told him. I said, you can take that few in a stew.
Boom, 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 boom. Tom McGee with a $5 super chat. Thank you, sir, very much.
There you go. Let me close this other browser so I don't lag.
That's how we do it on my channel and quite a few other channels like Jude's channel, Ed the Old Tech Guy. One more. When somebody does that super chat, they do it just to hear the boom, boom, boom.
Theo. No, that ain't right. That's Sam. Sam's in the chat. What's going on, Sam? He's up in Maryland. He does a lot of blue crabbing.
Where? Oh yeah, I know Sam. I was in Maryland. Yeah, I've talked with him in the comments on there. Me and you were talking about him last Sunday, last week in the line.
Yeah, one of
his neighbor's Captain Janice. What's her name?
Rachel.
Rachel.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got Janice and Rachel mixed up. Anyway. Yeah.
That is the hardest working woman on YouTube and she's only on YouTube because of Sam. He puts her on there, but that is a hard working woman right there.
Yeah. How you doing, Sam? I didn't see you come up in there. Yeah, Rachel. Yeah, I watched quite a few of his videos.
Oh, I have too, because that trot lining really just intrigues me to heck and back, man. It's just like, why don't we do that here, And actually,
we've been doing that for 150 years in Louisiana.
And I found out the same thing. People have done it here. It's just most people use crab pots now,
No, I'm talking about the long line. But ours were a half a mile long and up to a mile long. We call them palons in French.
Right.
And a small boat, like a 14-foot boat or 16-foot with like a little 6-horse Evinrude on the back, is just enough speed. You can control your speed like that. And we'd have a net just like they got. It's a hardwire net that we've got with a bowl. We've taken old crab cage, crab pot, and cut out what we need and then form it into a bowl and sew it on, twist it onto the frame about that big around. Because sometimes we come up with 3 big old male blue crabs on a little piece of beef tripe, that big, not as big as the knot that's holding it on there. And we used to get 100 dozen at a time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we get 600 or 700 pound crab crates, 100 pound, not those little 50-pound bushels they got. We get the 100 pounds, and man, I'm amazed at how much they get for crab up there. The fishermen, I'm amazed how much they get paid for their product.
I was talking with Lance with Sleeper Barbecue, and he lives in Maryland, and he was going to go buy some crabs one day, and he just turned around and went that calm. He go like, man, and I can't remember now what he told me. It's like $50 a dozen or something like that. And I'm
steamed
like,
or
no,
raw.
Ready, you cook them. You got to cook them yourself. Alive.
Dang.
I'm like, good God.
That's all number ones, though. It's all guaranteed number ones for that price.
I'll go buy me $5 worth of chicken necks, and I got the nets, and I'll have a mess of crabs in no time.
Yeah, that's
but I can buy them here. I think the last time I bought crabs, I bought 2 dozen from the international market, which is Asians, but these are fresh crabs brought in every morning right here out of the Gulf. These Vietnamese, that's what they do here is fish and shrimp and everything, and I buy them from them. I think I had 4 dozen for like $45 or something like that. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's $12 a dozen over here at Big V's. V-Dream, Kobe V-Dream is his name. He crabs my old spot in Grand Chenier up the Mermentau River and Upper Mud Lake. That's where he's crabbing. That's my old spot right there. And he keeps his boat at my cousin's house. My cousin owns a RV park in Grand Chenier. Huge RV park. It's not only RVs, they have mobile homes that are on the lots over there. And people, they either live in them or they just go there every week, weekend or whatever, and they'll go fishing or what have you. There's people from as far as New Iberia and all go over there.
Yes.
Baton Rouge, there's some people that have camps over there.
Sam says that's why we catch our own crabs. Exactly.
They're so expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. You can go out there and catch them. And
we go down once or twice a year down to Chauvin, which is straight below Houma. And we go, my buddy over there, David Lemieux, he's got a butterfly net on his wharf.
Okay.
On T Caillou Bayou, little gravel bayou. Caillou in French is gravel. And this is T Caillou. There's Little Caillou and Grand Caillou Bayou. And he's got a butterfly net there, and we catch the shrimp, crabs, fish, and then we'll fish off the dock while the net's running, while the current's pushing all of that seafood in the net. And we'll crab, with strings and turkey necks.
Yeah.
We had some turkey necks one time that big around and that long, and I'm like, man, whatever we don't use, I'm bringing home and putting that in some gumbo. What's that, Gleason?
I said I've never eaten crab in my life. I've had the imitation, but I've never had the real crab.
Oh yeah, there's a world of that imitation crab you're talking about is actually a fish.
Yeah.
Drum, either redfish or black drum, puppy drum. We call them over here. Once they get real big, they actually have black drum.
Blue crab is just like one of the best tasting crabs. Now, I had my first Dungeness crab a couple years ago. I did it on video, and some guy was wanting to say, "You only doing 2 crabs?" I'm like, well, first off, they were sent to me. That's all they sent me, which I didn't tell him that. I didn't comment back, but he sent me an invoice for that. It was zeroed out. Getting them 2 crabs shipped in here, still alive from out there in where was that at? Washington State, or it might have been the north part of California, somewhere in there. And man, it was like $120 with shipping and the price of the crabs. I'm like, no wonder he only sent me two.
Wow.
But man, that was some good meat. That Dungeness crab and blue crab, both of them are just outstanding. King crab's good. Snow crab legs, I can eat them all day long, but they just, to me, don't taste as good as
Snow
what blue
crab don't taste.
No, it just
it's too
don't.
salty.
You know?
Too salty for me on the snow crab, but king crab I like.
Yeah.
And now I prefer Dungeness crab over snow
Oh
crab.
man, that was such a good crab, man. It's such a sweet meat and everything.
It is very sweet.
$50 a crab, yeah. Sam says,
Man, for Dungeness, kill.
yeah.
And they got them in their area.
I follow a channel that a guy lives at in California, and he does a lot of stuff I'm interested in, like sausage making and all that stuff. And he does fermented hot sauces. And anyway, he'll go every now and then because he lives right there on the Pacific, and he'll catch his own Dungeness crabs. I'm like, man, sure wish we had those here. You know, I'd be out there crabbing for them. They're huge. One crab, man, I mean, just a body on it's like this. It's like, wow. We're talking about 2.5 pound crabs here.
Right.
Or bigger.
Hey, I'm going to put a link in the chat.
What's up, Eek?
Yeah, Sam, come on in here.
Hey,
William
kid.
Mike, hello. Thanks for saying hello.
I met Sam. He commented on one of my videos here a couple of years ago. And been talking to him ever since. I started watching his videos. I'm like, oh man, heck yeah.
It's amazing.
That's right up my alley.
One of my buddies, Joey Preciado, he used to be, well, him and Miguel Martinez, they used to, I'd put a video out, I'd upload it late. I had this theory, if you upload at 2 a.m. my time, I figure that's, 5 o'clock in the morning, East Coast time. And, people get up to get ready. They got to start work at 6, so someone might get up and, they got to take a crap and they're going to squeeze in one YouTube video before they jump in the shower. Figure, why not let that be my video? But it would be late, 2 o'clock in the morning, my time. And they're both pretty much my time. Miguel's a little bit, I think he's Central time. But that video could be up 10 minutes and boom, they both comment. And then one of them hit me up with a question, and then I answered a question on a personal message from like Instagram. And since that day, man, I'm pretty sure not a day goes by that we don't text or talk, 10, 15 times throughout the day. Just you meet people like that. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Everybody I've met on YouTube has been through YouTube, and there's a lot of them over the years. And some of them guys I was talking about earlier that were in this text circle on our phone, there's 4 of us. And, these are, well, one of them, I met him. I've actually met him face to face. I think I've met them all face to face. Yeah, I have. I've met Greg Mervich with Ballistic Barbecue. I met Justin with Baby Back Maniac. My buddy Jeff Rice with Dead Broke Barbecue, and then Mike Nackby with Everyday Barbecue. I've met face to face since we come to know each other on YouTube many years ago, which is pretty cool. You get kind of like a close.
That's really cool. I've 4 people from YouTube as well, and had to meet up. Shoot. One of them doesn't live too far from me. Justin Dow lives about 70 miles from me. We got together and we made a collaboration video. Princess Jamie was traveling and she came out and had dinner with my family and I. We all went out to eat. And Joey Preciado came down to bring his family they were going to Big Bear, and he spent the morning with me, or an evening with me. And then his last morning we had breakfast. It was really cool to be able to get to meet people that you.
It is, man. I remember the first time I ever went to like a YouTube meetup, it just felt surreal because I was so used to seeing these people like JB. Yeah, I went to his Spring Fling that first year and met all kind of YouTubers that I've been watching, and it just felt surreal meeting these people. It felt like you already knew them because you've seen them on video, Hey Sam, he dropped a link in there if you want to come on this chat. Man.
No, actually, that link is for a pecan praline recipe
Oh, I thought
on my cooking channel, which
Oh.
me and Mrs. cooking channel, which cooking with Cajun.
Oh,
No,
I'm sorry.
do you have his email?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Copy the StreamYard link right on top.
I think what I'll do is just take that email you sent me.
Okay, and forward it to him.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Let's see. I think I got his email. I know I got his phone number.
Well, my buddies in the chat, I want to congratulate him on finishing the semester of his body shop class. He passed all his finals. He's got one more final on Monday, so he's probably studied hard for it. I guess it's a monster night, huh, Ken? You're going to be up studying for finals. That's East Coast Ken, Cajun. He's passed all his finals. He's got one more on tomorrow morning.
Yeah, he made a comment the other night that he was just about done.
Yeah.
He said that last exam he did was at 80%. I mean, he got, 80 out of, whatever. Throw your link up in there, Ken.
I don't guess I do. Let me see if I can do this. All right, here's what I'll do. This link up here that link you get in there. Okay.
Right.
Copy. I'm gonna put this in my notebook. Let's see here. Put as a new note.
I'll be back. I gotta go lean off the dock for a sec.
Don't fall in.
Copy link. I'm gonna text it, but he'll have to use his phone in order to log in if it's done through a text, I reckon. Let's see.
Or when I get a text like that, I usually just forward it to my own email and then open it up on my computer.
All right, here's his phone. Stream link. All right, I just sent it through text. That's I thought I had his email. That I just can't remember what it starts with.
Man, you got a couple videos with over 1 million views.
Yeah, I've got a couple, and I've got a few more that's kind of poised to go over at some point.
Well, I'm looking forward to
if you do it long enough, like I have, you'll have some that do really well compared to others. So like the longer I do it, the worse it gets, but I still do it.
Oh, Cajun boiled peanuts. That sounds so good.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my favorites. That's an whole video you're looking at right there.
Yeah, it says 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Another one, Gulf Coast seafood platter recipe. Man, that looks delicious. Man, I just ate the soup, and now I'm hungry again.
Yeah, we went and met Uncle Larry today, and he gave us. He had these huge pots of gumbo that they were serving people. So he got me a plastic bowl with a top on it and filled that thing up and put it in a box. And then he gave me 3 packs of different types of sausage made in Louisiana that he's had he had his truck there with a trailer and everything, and it was still partially frozen. So I took it and brought it home, threw it back in the freezer. Then he gave me 8 jars altogether. 4 of them was at Stewart and a Few, and the other 4 was the gumbo he makes with okra. It's not the ready set gumbo; it's the gumbo with okra, which is the way I like it. And so I got 4 of them, and then he gave me a box. Let me see. What did I do with it? Oh, it's down there on the floor. Anyway, he gave me a whole box, 6 things of his barbecue rub. He gave me that. And then he's gave me some new products he's coming out with. One of them is a fish fry, and it's in a big old jug, big container, half full. Then the other one is a shrimp fry. and these are products that he's getting ready to introduce. So he gave me some of those, but I'm like, yeah, buddy, he hooked me up. There's some other things, and I just can't remember what they were, but.
Cajun, I'm going to step out for a little bit here tonight. Thanks for the invite.
All right, Gleason. Oh, well, I thought that train horn was finished.
Then, fellas, Power Stroke and Smoky Ribs, we'll see you guys again. Thanks.
Houston, good to meet you. I'll see you again soon.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Yeah, Sam ain't gonna be able to come in here. He's got to go to bed. He's got to get up at 1:30 in the morning. So.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
6:15 his time.
Yeah. Yeah, he's right there on the East
I
Coast.
sent Big Rob a text. Text message.
I'm gonna step in here for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay. So were y'all real busy this week too?
Yeah, we were swamped, and we're
Wow.
understaffed. We're understaffed.
Man, Friday I had just had 6 there. I thought I had 5 teeth left on the top. I had 6. They took X-rays and I got them all yanked. They wasn't going to do it Friday. Just X-rays, a consultation, and then what to do before the extractions in a week or 2, whatever. And I'm like, I said, if you don't mind me saying so, I would like to get them out now. Because I've been waiting 4 years, all together. When I had the other ones, I had all my, not all of them, but I had most of my top teeth in. And I went to this place in Crowley. That was the closest appointment I could get at any dentist office. And it was 6 months down the road. They were, out on the books that long, So when I went, there wasn't no dentist there. They hadn't had a dentist in a week. And I'm like, okay, so they made me another appointment and guaranteed me a dentist. So and that was 6 months up. So that's a year already. What's that? Oh, Sam? Oh, Larry's? Yeah, okay.
That's another one he gave me. It's Uncle Larry's seasoning and flavor enhancer.
Let me see. Show it again.
This is for like big volume jambalaya and gumbos and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
That's almost
28 ounce. Yeah. 30 ounces, yeah.
Almost 30 ounces.
29.8. At least they're honest about the weight. Usually they'll say 30, but he's honest about it.
Oh yeah.
That's close enough to 30 for me.
He's good people, man. I enjoyed that visit. It was short, but
how did that Chicago Tavern style thin crust pizza come out?
Oh, it turned out good, man. I was pretty impressed. It turned out the way it should be. It's thin and it was definitely crispy, but it's not my favorite style pizza. I did the first video I did when I got that pizza oven was like a Philly cheesesteak, but it was done with like a Neapolitan style pizza crust, pizza dough. That's my favorite. That's my favorite way to make any. It don't matter what kind of pizza it is. I just like that dough. It's got a certain stretch to it. It's got a little. Oh, okay. I guess it's the gluten in it, and then the crust on it is almost. It reminds me of French bread. It's got that certain crispy outside, but tender and soft in the middle. But yeah, it's got a good chew to it. I just love it.
Mm. I've got a recipe for pizza dough that I got from still at work. That's MHP Gardner's wife, and she had a huge channel just like MHP Gardner did, and they met up on YouTube. And he was single, she was single. After a couple of years, they hooked up, and another year or so later, they got married. And she's into canning, putting a lot of stuff up out of the garden. And he's a huge gardener. He's got a few acres of garden and a huge YouTube channel also, just like her. And they hooked up, so they best of both worlds like that. She puts everything up that's being grown, and they've got rooms full of, not pantries, rooms full of shelves with canned goods in it. They could survive 5 to 10 years on what they got put up. And she does, she makes her own pizza sauce, her own pizza dough, which I've got her recipe, and it's an awesome recipe. When I do pizza, I use that recipe for the dough.
Yeah.
And I've got another yeast roll. I call it yeast rolls because to me, the amount of yeast that the recipe calls for is more than I would put in there, you know. And you really can't taste. It's not yeasty, but man, and quick. They like 30-minute rolls, you know.
Yeah.
Hardly no rising time at all on there. And it, in fact, the pizza dough, I rise it twice. The rolls, and it's her recipe, I think. Yeah, it's hers. I can make the rolls faster than the dough.
Oh yeah, that pizza dough that I used on that Philly cheesesteak. I also did a pepperoni that on that same video, but that dough, when you make it, it has very little yeast, and you add no sugar to it, and it actually is feeding off of the flour. You know what I'm saying? And it's a very slow rise.
Yeah, the carbs is automatic sugar in it. Yeah.
You
talking about that pita bread video?
No, not that one. The one I did, the Philly cheesesteak, style crust. And then once it's risen for 5 to 6 hours, it's going to double sitting there on the counter with like a damp cloth over it. At that point, put some plastic wrap, put it in the fridge, and leave it for 48 hours. And what that does, that yeast really gives it a great flavor. I have a 3% salt in there, which also adds more flavor than most pizza crust calls for 2% salt. This is 3%. So it has a lot of flavor. Plus it builds up a really good gluten structure over 48 hours. Then you take it back out, you deflate it, and you put it into individual dough balls, then let them rise for another 5 to 6 hours. Then you form it into a dough and make your pizza, you know.
Right.
It's not a quick dough, but man, it's good.
What do you use bread flour for your?
No, I use I've got it down here somewhere. It's called 00 Tipo flour. It's most of that's made over there in Italy. And, it's very high gluten. You could use a bread flour as long as it's high gluten, you know.
Yeah, that's what I use, bread flour.
I use a 65% hydration on it, 3% salt, and then yeast is 0.1% yeast. It's a very small amount of yeast.
Oh, okay. I think it's a teaspoon on mine. I think it's a teaspoon or half. I think it's a teaspoon. I buy the Fleshman's. I think it's Fleshman's yeast in a jar. Okay. I buy it in a jar. I don't buy the little packs because I do a lot of breads and stuff like that, homemade breads. So I can get like it's $4.59, I think, $4.50, $5 with the tax for a jar of yeast. Just regular baker's yeast, not the real fast acting, for bread machines or what have you. I just get the regular one. And for $5, I'm getting, if I buy $5 worth of packs, I don't have that much in the pack, because just the packaging, that actually is costing. I'll get 4 times as much out of the jar than in the pack, for the buck, more bang for the buck like that.
Right. Yeah, we don't buy the jars. I used to when I did a lot of it, but I'm so far in between. I hadn't lately. Here lately, I've used yeast more than I have in a long time. But once I get back onto like all barbecue and stuff like that, then I won't be making anything bread related for a while. So we still buy it in the little individual packets, And even then, if I'm only using that small amount, I'll have to fold that over and save the other half of that little packet, you know, because that's all I use. But
Right.
I'll store it in the refrigerator and it stays good for, you know, a good year probably. I don't know.
Yeah,
Always
you can keep them.
check.
Yeah, they have an expiration date on them, but if you put them in the fridge, like you say,
Yeah.
you can double that. Hey, Pudding Tang, how's it going down there in Florida? Florida. They got relatives not far from Rob.
Oh, okay.
Pudding Tang. We was talking about that when you had already left last week, and Rob was still up in here, and Pudding Tang showed up. And I was talking about Pudding Tang, and lo and behold, there they were commenting in the chat.
All right, Boo, I'm gonna have to call it. Smokey Ribs Barbecue. It was very nice to meet you, man. Maybe one
Yeah,
day,
you too.
maybe one day we can do this on my mom can talk with you. She would love to talk with you.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'd love to have her up in here. You know,
Yeah, that'd be real cool. All right, guys. But until next time, man. You guys have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you guys next time.
All right.
hey, Jude,
All right.
Have a
Good
good
night.
one.
appreciate you coming in, buddy.
Yep.
Oh, I'll tell you what, man. Where that eye tooth was right there, that's bothering me right now. It's sore. It is sore.
Mm,
Uh,
can
'cause
imagine.
on the X-rays, I could see where it was right there in the sinus cavity. Eye teeth are the longest roots of all your teeth,
Yeah.
and a lot of people have them up in the sinus cavity. That's why when you get an abscess on the eye tooth,
They just swell
it
up.
hurts. It hurts, and you swell up. Your eye swells up, and if that abscess would pop, all that's coming out your nose.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
right.
draining down your throat and stuff. Man,
Goodness.
it doesn't smell good or taste good neither.
No.
I saw that pita bread when you did, and you didn't add any sugar to that one neither.
Mm-mm. None whatsoever.
I've never had it. I've never ate a gyro or
Yeah.
any Greek style food like that. I've never had. We got a Greek restaurant in town. They had a good sized restaurant, and then they downsized a little bit when that a po' boy place was there next to the Shell station, and it was a little sit down restaurant, and there's just two buildings together. The only things separating them is the wall, and the Greek restaurant, when the po' boy people moved out, they took that little small one over and closed the big one down. I thought they had bought that place where they were at. They might have bought it because they put a lot of work into that. It used to be an old gas station with two bay doors. In fact, when it was a bar room, the two bay doors were still inside. Except, but they had the outside wall covered. They just never took the doors down. And it was a bar, and then the Greek restaurant bought it, and I guess somebody offered them. It's a Italian place now, Italian restaurant. I guess they offered the owner of the Greek restaurant, Zeus's. They offered Zeus, he couldn't turn down. So the Zeus went in a smaller place, and the Italian restaurant set up shop in there, and it's full all the time. It's full. Our Mexican restaurant, Chinese restaurants in town.
Yeah.
We have one Mexican restaurant in town, and we have a Mexican grocery store. Small place, but everything's Mexican in there. Ethnic foods and stuff.
Right. Yeah, you
They
can do
they packed all the time. Those restaurants all the time they pack.
those little pita pockets. It's bread. Bread is bread, but
Pocket bread.
It's real handy for things. You know what I'm saying? You can do somebody put something on. I'm like, ooh, yeah, boy, that'd be good. Like a Philly cheesesteak filling with,
Oh yeah. I would.
Pita. Man,
I'd fight for that. Get out of my way. Because I never had a gyro,
Yeah.
Never had anything like that. And that would be nice because it's a lot easier to stuff that than to actually wrap a burrito. You
Yeah,
know?
it is. And if you think about it, burrito is nothing but what? Flour and water, without yeast. And it's very similar, related kind of, but yeah, it's pretty good. I thought it'd make it pretty. It's not a very popular video, but I said I'm gonna do it anyway. It's on there. I'm more about building a library of all kind of things instead
Right.
of. I know what kind of videos do the best for me, but I can't do them all the time. And it's usually stuff that I grew up around: crawfish boils, seafood boils, gumbo related, all that kind of stuff tends to do really well for me. But everything else, not so much. But I do it anyway because I want to do it.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think all together on this channel and my Boo Lucat channel, I think I've got probably 4 or 5 crawfish balls
Yeah.
videos of
I
crawfish
would
balls.
probably have more up than what I do, but I deleted some out of just being frustrated with a particular company years ago that could not fulfill the orders and was not giving refunds, and I didn't want to be attached to their name anymore. So I ended up out of haste, and I kind of regretted it afterwards because one of the videos had 800,000 views on it, and I got rid of it. It was going to go over 1 million. And afterwards, I'm like, God. And what happens when you delete a video, however many views it has,
Right.
they
That takes it
subtract
away.
it from your total. I'm like, golly,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
threw out the window almost 1 million views.
Yeah. And your monetization, if you had some newer videos that
Yeah,
had to add you through for, like, say at the toward the end of the month, your cycle on AdSense.
yeah,
If you had any money on there, that blew that out the window too.
yeah, exactly right. So I had to rebound from that. I eventually got enough more videos up to kind of replace what I lost with that. It was a stupid move. What I should have done was just put them like unlisted, because what it
Oh,
was, they
right.
were feeding off my videos onto their website and showing all my videos on there, and I didn't want to be a part of them anymore. So I said, if the video ain't up there, then they can't draw off of it. They cannot embed that into their website. And so
Right.
if I would have went unlisted, they still would have been able to do it. I would have had to went private, but when you go private, that deletes the views too.
Oh,
And
does
if you
it?
go public, it throws them right back on there. But I still would have been better off with that because what's up, Rob?
How you doing, Rob?
Hey guys, sorry, I always forget to mute the YouTube feed.
Oh, I do too.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Sorry.
what I did on mine, I just backed off my YouTube. So I just backed off because sometimes I'll forget and it catches me by surprise when I'm doing my intro.
Yeah.
It'll catch me by surprise and I got to hurry up and get to the YouTube, just click on that tab and then pause the video, the stream. I'll just pause it and it's good. So I just went back on it. Here we go. And boom. Actually, it was playing in the background. I thought I went back one. I didn't. Oh, well.
What you up to, Rob?
Well, I knew Boo was coming on today. I saw the email earlier, but I didn't read it. But I thought it was gonna be like later on. But you started like at 3, something like
4
that.
o'clock. Oh, no, that would have been 5 your time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't
You're
done that.
you're an hour ahead of me. So 5 your
Yeah.
time, 4 o'clock Bayou time.
Yeah. So I haven't done nothing. I've been lazy today, hanging out, watching football, and dreary ass weather here. It's like been real misty and foggy, and haven't seen the sunshine in like 3 days.
No, yeah, it's been like that. Friday it was real foggy
like
over
Kid
here.
Rock song.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
3
old
days.
Johnny Cash song. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when.
Oh, another train. Man. The other one went this way. Now this is coming this.
But no, I was in the shower and Boo sent me a text a little bit ago, and I thought, well, hell, I'll go on there and see what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
I didn't know you'd still be on there by now because I didn't realize till I seen the email. I guess you guys have been having a good time this afternoon.
I was talking some food. We had a Power Stroke Jude up in here, and his mom's a culinary Cuisinart herself, so we're gonna get her up here in a few weeks. And
There you go.
Cooking's in the blood, just like Smokey there.
Yeah.
I found out a few things about your wood stove.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that thing was made. I mean, it's older than, because your dad remembers it in the 30s, late 20s or 30s, what have you. But it's older than that. And they made a couple of different model numbers. They had the number 40, the 41. I think they had the 38. You remember that little deal toward the bottom on the side? You said, I didn't know what that was. I don't know what this is. Yeah, that little bitty flat thing.
Yeah.
Little bitty thing. Well, you raise that up and you take your eye tool, your eye grabber for that eye, and they have a space for that eye in there. And that's what you shake it with that.
Oh, to shake the ash.
With your eye handle, yeah. You shake all the stuff through the grill. If you got a little buildup, and it all goes to the bottom. Johnny's got one like that.
Oh, okay. And
Johnny does.
For me, I've had quite a few comments. I mean, for one of my videos, but most people say it's probably burn coal in it, and I do agree because where I'm from up there originally, it's coal country. I said in my video, I don't know how my grandpa ended up over in Ohio because I've got so much family I say it's family, but nobody I know, but distant family in like West Virginia and Kentucky, and most of them worked in coal mines. And somehow he crossed the river into Ohio and became a postmaster of the county there. And he had a little country store, which back then in the 30s, that's probably really all there was. Those stores here and there.
Most of all your post offices back then were in a store.
Yeah.
On the side of a store or at the very back or on the side or what have you. Just like on Petticoat Junction,
Yeah.
But in Perry, that was a post office for a while, and that Perry store post office, they handled all of it. Still had an Abbeville address, but it was just a subsidiary of Abbeville Post Office. It was right there in Perry, and they handled the route from Perry on down toward Cow Island and Forked Island. All of that's Abbeville addresses, even though it's to the west and south, like on the way to Pecan Island. That's all Abbeville, but that was a huge post office in that store.
So that number on the top, that number where it says number 41, that's probably would be able to, if somebody really knew a lot about them, that
has to do with the height, and the capacity of it.
Like a model number or something. I've never looked at the very bottom of it. I did lay it down, put it in the back of the truck when I brought it home, because the truck I took down there has got one of them tonneau cover things that I use for work, keep my equipment back there so nobody can see it.
Right.
And I laid it down, but I didn't really pay it. I didn't even know that nameplate thing that's on there. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was on there until I decided to make a video on it. And it's broken. That's the part.
Yeah, you got that one corner that's broke off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all that is I think you're missing a couple of letters in Birmingham. No. That's somebody else's wood stove. Is a Birmingham model.
That top name, I can't remember what the name.
Montgomery Ward.
Is Mars Cannon. Mars Cannon Company.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Cannon. They made cannons.
Wow.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
It was
I've never heard of that company before.
It was a huge foundry.
So
they had a lot of foundries years and years ago, even before the Civil War. most of all your steel foundries were up north.
So that's
Yeah.
who probably made it, and then Montgomery Ward sold it.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's-
Correct. Morris
that's what
County
I'm
Company, and then it was for. It didn't say it on the tag, but it says it didn't say made for Montgomery Ward. It just said Montgomery Ward.
Right.
Yeah,
And Chicago or what have you. I think it was Chicago in there, right?
Yeah, that's it. Said Montgomery
Yeah.
Ward, Chicago. That's probably where
Right.
Montgomery Wards was based. I'm assuming.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I remember Montgomery Wards, when I was a kid, but I
Oh,
don't,
me too.
the magazine
too.
and stuff, or not magazine, but
Yeah,
catalog.
catalog. Yeah, them big thick catalogs like
Yeah.
Sears. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a Montgomery Ward in the mall, opposite from the Sears.
yeah. We had one over here in Goshen before they tore that old mall down. That
Well,
damn-
I don't know about you guys, but the malls around here, they look like they're in bad shape. I don't go to malls, but man, they look like the internet and
The internet's got to be blamed for that.
yeah, that and the I don't know how to say it politically correctly around here, but the neighborhoods around them are going to crap, and
yeah,
and it's bad. There's nothing but trouble at the malls.
yeah.
There's three major ones around here, and two of them are in really bad shape. And I
Yeah.
don't know about the other. I never go to them, but
They'll be a thing of the past eventually. We had
Yeah.
one. We still have one in Biloxi, the Edgewater Mall, but the one over in Goshen, which was originally supposed to be built in Pascagoula, but they settled on Goshen because there was more land that was available then. It was called Singing River Mall, and it was there from the early 70s all the way up to about 2 or 3 years ago. They tore it all down except for the Sears that was still standing, and I think eventually it closed too.
I
And
think
they
so.
just demoed the whole thing. But I'm like, wow, I've watched it come up, and I lived long enough to watch it be not there no more.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember Singing River Mall. In fact, Pascagoula River, the nickname for it is Singing River.
Oh yeah,
The Indians gave it that name.
Singing River Indians. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, Boo, I don't know probably anybody in your chat, but it's kind of cool they're hanging out here, listening to you guys. And now I jumped in here, so
We had
neat.
Madwood Barbecue in here earlier. And then Barbecue 76, he'll come in every now and then.
Yeah, Madwood was in here, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, there was. I meant to said so. There he is, right there. It was at 5:30. Madwood.
I saw one I got on at Tommy over there at.
There he is.
I'm gonna have to start sending links to Big Luke over here. He's not far from me.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him on a live event anywhere.
Pudding Tank says my mom lives in Goshen. I'll be darned.
Goche. y'all
people-
pronounce it a little different than we do. It's
Most
French.
people look at that and they say Gautier, Gaudier,
Yeah.
or whatever. It's
Yeah.
pronounced Goshen.
Is
There's
that
a lot of
Mississippi?
people with that last name that I went to school with, but Goshen is the way you pronounce it.
That's the way they pronounce it there. Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
there's-
Wayne, how you doing?
there's,
Custom screen printing.
There's Quentin Nelson also.
Yeah. How you doing, Quint?
Got
Is
some
that
mob guys hanging out over here, Boo.
Yeah,
Is,
I've got a
is that town in Mississippi or Louisiana?
It's in Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Is it?
It's between Pascagoula and Ocean Springs. It's called Goshen.
Okay.
And then if you're not familiar with Pascagoula, that's just south of Escatawpa.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to get the map out on those, man.
Yeah.
I do know where Ocean Springs is.
Those
No,
are all the
no, no.
Indian names. The Pascagoula Indians, the
Yeah.
Escatawpa
okay.
Indians, all that, like he said, the Singing River was named after the Singing River Indians. It was a tribe that actually, the story has it that they, matter of fact, I used to know, I still know over Moss Point, kind of Pascagoula Moss Point area, they all walked out into the Singing River and drowned. They committed like mass suicide.
Yeah.
And they say
Kind of like the Jones thing like that, but they didn't have the Kool-Aid. They
Yeah,
drowned
no,
themselves.
I don't know what Kool-Aid they were drinking, but it wasn't his.
They had too much mushrooms, I think.
Yeah, but
Peyote
they claim you can still hear them
singing
chanting and stuff like that. You got all the
On a
little
qui-
Spanish
on a-
moss and hanging
on a
from the tree.
quiet night. You sure can. It's the
Yeah.
breeze, the Gulf breeze, and something
Yeah.
else upriver that causes it. But I've heard it before. You know that you could. It's faint. It's not real pronounced. But if
Yeah.
you listen good and you're away from it, like you're up in a boat, you know, up
Yeah.
there, up the river. Hold on, I'll be right back. Y'all handle it.
Yeah, they were singing when they went into the river, so hence the singing river. You know, that's how it got its name. My mom told me that story back when I was 5 years old. I'll never forget it. There's even books on it, like local books, you know, talking all about it.
Now, Ocean Springs is
Yeah, due to the bloody, thirsty Biloxi Indians coming for it. Could have been. Yeah, that sounds about right. It sounds like I remember something like that.
So Ocean Springs, I mean, the exit there on I-10, Russ, that's the only thing I remember when I went over there to Louisiana that one trip. But
Okay.
that's where that's the exit to go to the shed. You go north.
Yeah, that's exit 57 there.
Is it?
Yeah, Highway 57.
Did you guys did they used to? Well, I don't remember. You had a video, or you or Brian had a video where you guys had I don't know, was it a steak cook-off or something? And I remember Jax was like a Bloody Mary judge or something like that.
Yeah, that was shot right before COVID come out in 2020, like February, and I was invited by Chad Whittington out of Alabama there, good friends with Brian and all that bunch, and he invited me to go there and cook the ribs with Brian, you know.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I don't do competition barbecue, but yeah, sounds like fun. So he got me one of his Maggie Farms button-up shirts with all the embroidery work on it, and
yeah.
I said, well, shoot, I'll shoot a video out of this. And so that's what the video is. It just kind of shows all kind of things, you know.
Do they still do that? They still do that competition up there? Or?
Yeah, they do it every year at the shed. Now, the following year, they canceled it because we were in the height of COVID or whatever.
Right.
Then the following year, they did, which was this past spring, and they did it.
Is that very far from you? I mean, where you live?
That place is literally 10 minutes from where I'm sitting. If I got my car and drove, it'd take me about 10 minutes to get there.
I don't know what it is about that place, but when I saw it probably on Triple D on Food Network the first time,
oh yeah,
I just thought it was just cool as shit. And then
yeah.
I went to the grocery store and I wasn't even looking, and I'm looking at barbecue sauces, and they had the shed sauce, and I don't know, I just became just so amazed with it. And then I saw, you know, where they were in Memphis in May and they won whatever grand champion, whatever it was. So I saw some other
whole hog.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just thought, and then when I went, that time I went to Louisiana, I think I was on my way home, and I didn't see it on the way over, but on the way back on the exit, it said, you know, the shed, and, you know, it was like one of the restaurants at the exit.
Yeah.
I was like, son of a bitch, man. I'm like right here. I should stop, but I didn't. I kept going.
It's a unique place, man. You walk in and gravel is the floor. You know, it's built like a shed, and you place your order, whatever you want, and you sit down at like a picnic bench, and they'll bring it to you, and it's fun, man. I've eaten there. I've actually eaten there once because we barbecue stuff all the time, you know, so we just don't go out to eat it,
right?
But I do want to go back this spring and just try to. They do crawfish too, and they do them in some really big pots that are picked up with like overhead cranes on a rail, you know.
Yeah.
And I want to try their crawfish and just see how they are. They use that.
It looks to me like it would be fun to go to a big event there. Not but just to go there and just like a big atmosphere,
Yeah. Yeah, that
like a fun
competition
place.
that year, there was over 200 teams there for that, and it's like a one-day event. That's why it's so attractive to a lot of people that can't really afford to do competition barbecue because of time restraints or whatever.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can go there with an 8x8 pop-up tent, an ice chest, and a Weber kettle, and boom, you're in.
Yeah.
It don't cost a lot to enter it, and then hey, do what you do and turn it in and just have a good time with it. And that's
They have
really-
a place over here up the road from me about, it's right across the parish line, by Bayou Duquesne. It's Lakeview Park and Beach. They, once or twice a year, they'll have championship cook-offs, smoke, barbecue and smoke. And, man, it's awesome. It is awesome. You got people from all over the United States coming over, so you can sample different areas. Barbecue in a certain area is going to be different than this barbecue.
yeah,
Depends on the rub styles and the sauce styles.
sure.
That, and there's people from Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas that come down here for that. Next time they have one, I'm going to go and I'm going to do a video. Walk around. They've got at least 100. At least 100.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
I
They,
saw.
they bring their trailers, custom made trailers. They're
Oh yeah,
smoking rigs, barbecuing rigs. Man, they got some nice ones.
I saw Russ on your pita bread video. I saw Ricer said something like, next time he comes down, he wants you to fire up that pizza oven. And I was thinking, man, right now, well, it's almost a good time for him to come down and get the hell out of that cold up there.
yeah, no doubt. He just installed a big furnace into his. He's got a big double garage where he shoots all his videos from, and you know how Wisconsin weather is, so he finally got this big 250,000 BTU, I think it is, gas furnace, and he's like, oh yeah, he went on live last night with us, and he's wearing a t-shirt inside that garage. He said, yeah, it's 80 degrees in here. He said, I'm good, man. It's a good deal.
That's good.
Yeah.
I remember when COVID hit, he did a video where he was walking down the street with a full body suit.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
And everything.
Yeah, he's something. He's funny.
Yeah,
Hey.
He's a good dude. I've never met him, but I like him. He's really, he's good. Seems like.
Hey, Pudding Tang, that Payards barbecue and Goche. Do they do subs also, like the chili, not chili, Philly cheese, Philly cheese and stuff like that, regular subs? Because this one place I used to go to, I thought it was in Ocean Springs. It might be that place in Goche. Me and Russ was talking about that last Sunday in the live. Remember I was telling you about that sub place that they had a press and
oh yeah,
and I love their Philly cheesesteak sub. Well, Pudding Tang said when they go to Goche, their favorite po' boys is at Fayard's.
Oh yeah. Well, I just did a video, I don't know, three months ago with Brian Ducharme at the Fayard's over here in Ocean Springs off of Washington. And that's the name of it, is Gas Station Food. And it's just a fun video. There was really no rhyme or reason, but Brian's got his big Southern Pride rotisserie smoker there doing all these wings, and he threw some sausage on there. And then at the end of it, we're eating a roast beef po' boy and a shrimp po' boy. And I show footage back there in the kitchen where they're assembling these po' boys and everything. But Julian is the guy that owns all that. And I don't know if he owns one in Gaucher. I think they're all connected somehow. But I tell you what, that's some really good food. Heck yeah.
But that's the same place that I was thinking about last Sunday. They got good food in there.
Mm-hmm. They make their own French bread for these po' boys, and I swear it's every bit as good as that Leidenheimer bread like you get out of New Orleans. That they deliver that bread here too. I go to Rouse's to buy it, and it's fresh out of New Orleans. But man, they got it dialed in so close you really can't tell it. It's got that flaky exterior, but that soft interior with that right amount of tug to it. You know,
Right.
where you from, Puddin' Tang?
Go check.
Now his mom lives in Goshen. I mean, is he
Yeah.
on the Mississippi coast here somewhere? Or
He's on the Floribama line, that area.
okay,
But if I'm not mistaken, they were raised in Go check.
all right.
Anyway, Puddin' Tank.
Hey guys, I bought,
They learned the Singing River in school, he said.
Yeah.
So I take it for granted that he went to school in elementary school over there.
Okay.
He's in
Niceville, Florida.
Niceville.
Okay. What you gonna say, Rob?
I bought my first standing rib roast today.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because I just want to make ribeye steaks out of it. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
$6 a
Well,
pound, man. So
I used
you-
to do that. I
That's
used
the
to,
one with the bone, right?
no, this one's boneless. I think it's boneless.
Oh, okay. Because usually when standing rib roast or
Right.
prime
yeah,
rib,
it would have the bone.
you'll have the
Yeah.
bone. Yeah, we call that a tomahawk steak.
I don't know. These might be. I don't know. I was just happy to get it.
You got the
Maybe that's not what it's called, but it's
no, it is. It's called a few things, but a prime rib, and
Yeah.
there's where a lot of people get confused. Prime rib is a cut, which is that ribeye section, and it's called prime rib, but it doesn't have to be prime grade, or you know what I'm saying,
right.
to be called a prime rib. It can still be choice, but be called a prime rib because is taken from like this prime area is how it's not that it's referring to the grade. And
Right.
a lot of people are confused
Right.
on that. Like, well, I can't call it prime rib because this is choice. Yeah, it's still prime rib, you know, or standing rib roast. That's another. But like you said, normally a standing rib roast is same thing, but the bones are in it and they're
That makes
French
sense.
and they're
Yeah.
kind of yeah.
That makes sense. I never. It's just what they call it. I got it at Publix. I've been wanting to get one for years when they have them. You know, because right now, a ribeye steak is, I don't know, $18 a pound.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you can buy this. It's the same thing. You just cut your own steaks pretty much.
That's even better. You can get them
Yeah.
the width you want, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I've been wanting to do it for years, and I just never did. I don't know why. So, anyway,
We
figured
got
I'd-
T-bones on sale down here for $4.99.
that's
a
freaking
pound.
cheap. That is
Yeah.
cheap, buddy.
It is.
Yeah.
And
I like a good porterhouse, which is a T-bone, but the porterhouse has a bigger fillet on it, you know.
Yeah, it's porterhouse, the T-bone and the
Yeah.
the,
that would be
ribeye. Yeah.
that'd be my next favorite cut to a ribeye. Ribeye is my favorite steak,
Yeah.
you know. But I guess a good T-bone or good porterhouse would be a close second to that, you know.
A regular T-bone, just one little part of it is nice, juicy, and tender. You know, the eye part. The
Yeah.
other one is it's always dry for some reason. Drier.
That's the New York strip. It's just a tougher cut, but it's still not bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's if you get your good grade, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that or you could
gotta-
age it yourself. You know, marinate it or you
Yeah,
know,
I think you just got to know what you're looking for.
you do.
You know, I mean,
a lot
that
of good marbling. You know, goes
Yeah.
a long way.
Yeah.
Making a tender steak. You
Yeah,
know,
it
and
sure
flavor.
does. Sure does.
Puddin' Tang graduated Pascagoula. You might know him. You might know or us.
That's where I'm from. That's my hometown. Okay, cool. He
Is that on the-
might have went to school. I don't know how old he is, but I got brothers or a brother that graduated in '69, and
Would you graduate? 75?
I didn't
6?
graduate. I would have graduated around '76.
I
But,
had it on the money, 75, 76.
I quituated and became a YouTube personality.
Yeah, I was saying this the other night on Power Stroke Jude's channel. I think it was on Jude's. I said, when I grow up, I want to be just like Smokey Ribs and Barbecue.
I tell you what, I look around and I see so many people that struggle with YouTube. I feel pretty fortunate that I've had as much success as I've had. And other times I'm like, God, man, why can't I be a big channel like that guy? You know what I'm saying? But then I look around like, well, I've done okay, I reckon, you know. But,
like deer meat for dinner, man. He's got what, 1.5 million or close to 2.5 million.
I think he's over 3 million now.
3
and
million
what's
now.
funny about that, when I first started watching him about 7-8 years ago, his sub count was right where mine was at that time.
You see, he got married to a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl.
Oh man, but you got to hand it to that guy.
He's got good taste in food and women.
It's not just that, but if you ever look at his actual videos, he can be up in a tree stand and give you 3 different camera angles of what he's doing.
Yeah, right.
And I'm sitting there, I'm not watching really what he's doing. I'm watching his video technique. I'm like, I made a comment on one of them. I said, man, I said, I've got to hand it to you, dude. I said, I do a YouTube channel. I said, to hang in a tree and get me 3 different camera angles the way you're doing and still be able to talk while spooking the deer, then show the kill shot. It's just like, wow, you know.
A lot of editing. See, he's got those 3 rolling all at the same time, and he's picking and choosing.
Oh, yeah. That's
what
what
to
I
cut
do.
out, what to put, splice everything back together. And if I'm not mistaken, he started off with iPhones.
Probably, I don't know.
Yeah, because his camera has always been sharp and clear in iPhones and Google phones. Those have the top 3 are iPhone, Google phone, and Samsung. The Galaxy and whatever. This is a Galaxy A13.
The Android
A13.
phones.
Yeah, Android. Yeah. Instead of I've had iPhones already. I just went over to late, when we needed them. Newer ones went to the Androids.
Yeah.
Like the Galaxy. Galaxy's got awesome cameras in them too. This one's got 4 cameras on it.
Yeah.
It's got 3 in the back and 1 on the front. One's a regular, and a macro. Got a macro lens on this.
That's got the ones on the back and then the one on the front.
What is that?
This is an iPhone 12 Plus. 12 Plus.
Oh, okay.
Or 12 Pro. 12 Pro Plus.
Okay. Yeah, a buddy of mine's got one like that. The Pro Plus.
The Funiac Springs. I used to scuba dive in the Funiac Springs.
Where's the Funiac at?
Huh?
Where's that at?
The one I'm thinking of is in Florida. It was right down the road, not too far from Morrison Springs.
When I was a kid, we'd come down from Ohio. My grandparents lived over in Destin, and when we hit the Funiac Springs after driving, like 100 hours, and we were jumping over and down because we knew we only had a couple more hours to go.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's some of the clearest water, man. When you find that river, right? We used to dive. They had this, I'm sure it's still there, but a big cavern, and then they also have caves, but they got a lot of warnings up. There's been so many people died in them caves, go down there and get nitrogen narcosis and get disoriented. And next thing you know, they don't know which way is up or down, and they end up drowning down there. Vortex Springs. Yeah. Been there too. Had Morrison Springs, that's where I'm thinking of, and then Vortex is right up the road from Morrison Springs. But I remember the Funiac, but I don't think I dove there. It was Morrison Springs I'm thinking of, right there on the river. I mean, it's like we used to take, and we'd get the water line right here by our mast. Your eyes, you could see people walking up on the shore, and you look down and you could see bass swimming, on the banks and everything. It was just like the air.
Cool view. Yeah.
It was as clear as this air I'm in. It was just super clear, man. It is unreal.
you were talking about that narcosis, divers narcosis earlier. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with him. He's in New Orleans. He's originally from Cuba. Him and his buddy, Pedo or something. I hadn't seen him in a while. Humberto Fontova. He's a professional diver. Him and his buddy, and they live. He came to New Orleans from Cuba, and he's an author and one of the field editors in Louisiana Sportsman's Magazine. And they go fishing saltwater, freshwater. It's mostly salt, and he's funnier than heck. And the way he writes, he's got your full attention from the get-go.
Yeah.
From the get-go in his articles, fishing articles and stuff, stories. He's got it. He's got a novel out, a book out called Hell Divers Rodeo. And they talk a lot about that in there, and divers, dying, passing away because of and good friends of his too.
Yeah.
It's a club over there that's called Hell Divers. And he named it Hell Divers Rodeo. It's a real good book, interesting read. I mean, and I've read it twice. A buddy of mine
I used to be big into diving back when I was a lot younger. Believe it or not, I used to be big into surfing too, man. Being raised right here on the coast, we would head to Florida and Dolphin Island a lot of times, right there in Alabama, just to surf. All the time, every week. Gulf
Shores, Dolphin Island, Gulf Shores.
Yeah,
they all on the Gulf side. See, you on the Sound. You on the Sound. So
yeah, here
you don't have any wave action unless a storm comes up.
Something we used to do. I used to get on when Ricky Brown has a little bay boat. We would take the bay boat just to inside Horn Island, which is south Pascagoula, and we would anchor
Horn Island is one of the biggest islands in the Sound.
That boat,
it's next to Petit Bois. Y'all call it Petit Bois over there, but it's Petit Bois.
Yeah, Petit Bois.
You have Petit Bois, then you have Horn Island, then you got Cat Island and Ship Island.
Yeah, but we would take that boat and we'd anchor off. He drew 3 foot of water, so we'd have to anchor off in like 4 foot of water. And we'd hop overboard and we'd have our surfboards and we'd wade all the way to the beach on the north side of the island and walk across to the south side, and we'd surf all day long. Because as long as you're on the other side of the island, the south side, you got waves. If the waves are up, we'd always do a surf report before we actually left. You can go sometimes as flat as it can be.
Oh yeah, definitely on the Gulf.
Yeah. But many years ago.
It can be a peaceful piece of water, and then it can get really angry.
One of the best days I ever seen for surf was at Dolphin Island, and I'll never forget it. The water was like glass. It was slick as it could be, but there was real waves coming in from like way off. And they would come in sets of 4 or 5, and that glass would just all of a sudden rise up like that, and then the one behind it was bigger. The 4th and 5th one was always the biggest, and then that set was done with. You had to wait on the next set, which was coming. You just had to sit there and wait, and it was just like beautiful, man. No turbulence in the water. It's just like glass, and those swells would just come out of nowhere, and you'd catch it, just take it all the way in. That was good. That was a long time ago, man. We're talking about 70s here,
Wonder what caused that.
That's really the kind of surf you want. You don't want something that's generated from wind right there that's going on right now, like in a tropical depression. You can ride all that, but it's very trashy. A lot of undertow, a lot of currents going on. It's hard to pull off. But those waves can literally come from thousands of miles away and just over the course, it's kind of like sound waves. They don't really dissipate, you know what I'm saying? And eventually they get here, but they come in series like that.
I just wonder what would cause something like that because, like you said, it'd be thousands of miles away, a storm or
Yeah.
or earthquake, underwater earthquake or something, you know. That could cause
I don't know, but
Wow.
that was the one and only time I ever caught it that slick calm and then still have surf and while that was going on. It's just like, dang. I think we had like a north wind coming in that slicked it all off, and the surf was there, and it had to go to. It couldn't go no more, So there was no way of killing it. Really, it wasn't huge. It was only like 4 or 5 foot waves, but I love that size. The boards we had were made for that kind of surf because we are here on the Gulf Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Not very big waves. If you called a day with 6 foot waves, man, it was on then.
Oh yeah, I bet.
We was on the snapper boat when I was running that boat for Clark Seafood.
Yeah.
We were running that, and they had that hurricane. I was out coming up into the Gulf, and I think it hit. I forget if that one hit Florida or Texas, but we were getting out of Dodge. We were in Louisiana waters. We got the heck out of Dodge, and we were south of like Morgan City when the wave action started. Them ground swells were getting bigger and bigger, and the storm was still out in the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
6, and and we only in a 65-foot boat, a tiki boat, and a snapper boat, but they call them tiki boats. That style of boat.
Yeah, had the long tent looking thing all the way down.
Canopy, on the top, wooden canopy all the way on top. And I jumped into. I'm like, man, I'll be glad when we get to Tiger Pass. We got in Tiger Pass, in that what's the name of that block? It's on the maps, Delta block, I think. And we got in Tiger Pass, and we went at the jump. It's Venice. They call it the jump. When you're coming out of Tiger Pass into the Mississippi River, and then going up north just a little ways, and you're in Baptiste Colette. Then they call that the jump.
Yeah.
And that Tiger Pass, you're on the Gulf right there, and you figure that all of that water would be salt water. It's not, because of the Mississippi River flowing down so strong.
Right.
Once you get out of the Gulf and into Tiger Pass, you can bass fish.
Yeah.
And there's all cypress trees, all of that real in bloom cypress trees.
That's kind of like the way it is around here. You can get north of the interstate, and you're now catching saltwater fish. You can throw your pole over here and catch a bass or a bram.
Mm-hmm.
It's
right there
brackish. And then the further up you go, the more fresh it gets,
Yeah. Did you know a guy named Gore? He's from Pascagoula.
What's his name?
Gore. He worked for Gore, like Gorefish.
Yeah.
That's his nickname, Gore. And they had another one called Yogi. Yogi was the boat captain on that big trawler boat. And Gore worked at the plant at Clark Seafood in the building itself. Gore was one of the managers of it. Him and Shine, another guy they called Shine.
Yeah.
I wonder how you got that nickname, huh? So, anyway, we got it in the Baptiste Colette, and they had a bunch of butterfly boats because that current was whipping out. And we had to navigate, and it was raining. I'm talking about wind-blown rain, because we were like on the outside of that storm. And we got into the Chandelier Sound. Once you get out of Baptiste Colette, you're in the Chandelier Sound. And we just headed straight north in Chandelier Sound until we got to Mississippi Sound. And then we just headed east to Pascagoula. But we were in calm water in Chandelier Sound. The Gulf's got like 7-foot swells, ground swells, the long ground swells, no chop on the top, nothing breaking over. Every once in a while, you'd see a wave break over.
Yeah.
And when we got Mississippi Sound, it was even calmer. It was like slick because of the barrier islands. Cat
Yeah.
Island, Horn Island.
Oh yeah, they
Uh,
protect
he-
this coast
Right.
somewhat. You get
Yeah.
a major hurricane, they go underwater for the most part.
Oh
but
yeah. Oh yeah.
English
If
protection
it
there.
wouldn't be for those barrier islands, the coast of Mississippi wouldn't look like it does now.
No, it wasn't. It would have took a beating. You're right.
That's right, Andrew, from Moonshine.
Yeah, you got Petty Boy, you got Horn Island, you got Cat Island, you got Ship Island, you got all these islands just strung across the Chandelier Islands, all the way
Yeah.
into Louisiana.
Yeah. In fact, Cat Island, well, that last island, I think it's Cat Island, if I'm not mistaken, to the west. Isn't that Cat Island?
I
Furthest one
think
to the
so.
west?
Yeah, to the west. Yeah.
That's almost in Louisiana waters, right?
Yeah,
there.
it is. It sure is. That's what's weird. I might have said this last week, but we went fishing one time with Andy out of Mandeville with Wicked Fishing Charters. And the first time I went, he went into the what do they call it? The Regalies.
Really? Yeah.
And it was like where all these estuaries are there in Louisiana waters, but just north of us, as the crow flies, like due north, is Mississippi. That was Long Beach and Waverly.
Yeah.
It just the water goes around, but south of Mississippi, and how that was. I don't know where the line is at in the water, but I know where it is on land. But it's not the same. They consider
Right.
that part of
Makes
Louisiana waters, and
Yeah, it makes a little. The state line's funny after it leaves the Pearl River.
yeah.
It kind of stretches toward Mississippi Sound.
Yeah. And so, but that's some of the best fishing I ever done was over there in Louisiana. My goodness.
Oh, they got some good marshes down there now. They got a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of marshes, especially around Barataria Bay, Terrebonne Bay, all that area. That's all southeast Louisiana. They got a lot of marsh over there. Hey, Brian, how you doing,
So-
morning, me?
What's going on, Brian?
I was in his live stream up on the panel not long ago. We were talking about all of y'all. All right, for those that don't know yet, me and Missy's cooking channel, the name of it's What's Cooking with Cajun. I'm going to drop a link in the comment section. That's me and Missy's cooking channel, and I got that started back up. I made that channel 3 years ago, and I got the name from a friend of mine that we used to have 20 minutes of What's Cooking with Cajun. He gave it that name, and I asked him, I says, hey, can I use that for a channel? He says, be my guest,
I like
So,
the ring of that. I like that.
What's Cooking with Cajun, and then question marks, two question marks.
Is Missy gonna do some of her cooking on that channel?
That's it. She's the hostess. I've got a
Okay.
couple. I've got a couple of vids on there already. I embedded one, and I made one for that channel.
Okay.
I'm gonna embed a few more videos from my from Cajun channel or my Boogaloo Cat channel, but everything I want on there is step-by-step Cajun food,
That
how
ought
to
do
cook
good.
it, step by step.
Yeah, man. Heck yeah.
And what I do, the extent of my editing is pausing this thing right here. I've got this little notepad,
Pause, and then hit
little
record. Yeah.
Walmart thing. Just hit the pause button when until we're ready for the next step. Because Cajun cooking, some of those meals take 2.5, 3 hours
Oh yeah.
to cook down.
Sure.
Especially when you're making your own gravy, and we don't use kitchen bouquet or nothing like that.
Right.
We don't even have that in the house. We use a lot of Cajun power garlic sauce though.
Oh yeah.
My cousin owns half of that, Bo Thomas.
That's good stuff. I had that
Oh, it is.
back
it
when I
is.
was still living at home. Bozo's Seafood over there in Pascagoula was selling.
I know.
that.
We used to buy bald crawfish from Bozo's.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, that link I just put in the chat, that's for the cooking channel. I'm trying to promote it now. I'm trying to promote it, and I've got an apron with it. Miss Ida made me a few aprons. I've gave those away for giveaways already. So I might have one left, maybe. And it says me and Missy. So, hey, I got to have me one too.
There you go. Heck yeah.
But I just might have a giveaway when I get to so many, like 250 or 500 subs. I might give that apron away. Just might do that. And that'll kind of amp it up a little bit right there.
I don't know, man. Cajun style food and cooking, that's always done me well on YouTube. And I'm not even Cajun, but I'm close enough to where I know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
So yeah, y'all could do very well with that channel.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Miss Ida had sent me, like I said, those aprons, and that kind of gave me the fire to get it going real good.
Yeah.
Nice aprons. I'll show them off next Sunday. Right now we're gonna go and give Pull a Bear Ed a raid, y'all. Let me get his thing back up here so I can copy that. Where is him at? Where's he at? Is he right here? Nope. Where you at, Ed? Okay, I want you and Rob to stick around backstage for a little while.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Sunday Small Engine Chat. Yeah, 18 tabs open up right there. All right, let's give Pull a Bear Ed a raid, y'all. That link in there is for his YouTube stream. He's going to be on till a little after 7, something like that. So we see y'all over there after a while. Rob, you want to start off with your outro, buddy?
I'm sorry, I was on the phone.
Oh,
Are we
okay.
You're out of here?
Yeah, we're getting out. Wait for you. You first on your outro, saying goodbyes.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody. Good to see y'all. I always love hanging out with Russ and Boo, and you guys take care, man. Have a good week. Merry Christmas to everybody. That's
Russ,
all I got.
your turn. Your turn, Russ.
All right, I'm somebody's wanting the link to my channel again, so I'm adding that real quick.
All right.
Let's see. Smokey. Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. At SMOKYRIBSBBQ. That should get you there.
Yeah, and I've got it in the description box already at the bottom.
Oh, okay. All right.
I've got it in there. It's a link to your second to last video.
Okay.
To your picnic roast.
That's actually to my channel there. I think I done that right. At any rate, so what am I doing? Closing out?
Yeah, say your goodbyes, and then me and you and Big Rob will talk backstage for a sec.
I pledge allegiance to. No, wait a minute. I didn't do that right.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it was Aunt Ethany, or what's her name, that was on Christmas vacation. They told her to do the prayer, and she starts doing the national anthem.
Yeah, Grandma.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Enjoyed it, and I appreciate you for inviting me on here, Boo.
Not a problem. Anytime.
And
Every
Rob,
Sunday.
good seeing you again as always. And until next time, smoky ribs.
Smoky ribs.
And Brian, we're gonna check you out after a while too. Probably about 7 o'clock. I'll be heading over to you live. All right, everybody. It's good being north of the grass. Be safe. Stay that way. And as always, love, peace, and crackling grease. Catch y'all later. Blue top.